Hi, it's Ian here. I'm just going to go through a couple of very quick tips on some little technology tools that I use that kind of simplify my workflow, my life, and let me do some useful things marketing-wise. They're not huge, massive changes. They're all little simple add-ons you can put in your computer, but they'll save you a few minutes or maybe even hours here and there and let you do some things you couldn't do otherwise. So all of these are add-ons for Google Chrome, the browser, and many of them I'm using in conjunction with Gmail. So a couple of things on here. You've probably noticed there the buffer thing, which lets you buffer up tweets and Facebook shares and LinkedIn shares. The Evernote Web Clipper, which clips web pages and emails and stuff into Evernote. Well worth having and well worth getting Evernote if you've not got it already. And this is just a kind of minimalist thing that lets me tailor my Gmail experience. But the ones I wanted to show you today, I'm going to just log over to the settings and show you on extensions which ones they are. They are Profile Views, Rapportive, and Signals by HubSpot. You can get these extensions just by clicking on there and searching for them by name. Signals you can also get from getsignals.com. So let's just run through them. Firstly, Profile Views is very simple. As you may know, if you're a LinkedIn member, even with a free membership, you can see the people who've been viewing your profile, and that can sometimes be quite useful. If someone's viewed your profile, it's a great excuse if they look interesting to just message them and offer to connect and say, "Hey, I noticed you were checking out my LinkedIn profile. Looks like we got a few things in common. Would you like to connect and maybe follow up?" So it's useful to see who's been viewing your profile. Normally you have to kind of log into LinkedIn every day because you can only see the last 5 ones. This one stores your full history. So it's kind of constantly logged into your LinkedIn profile and stores the history. So if I click on that, I can see the last folks and click down there as well to look at my profile. And if they look interesting, there's a senior manager at EY, a CEO at a green energy solutions company. So if it looks like they might be good contacts for me, I could just click on there. It'll go to their profile and I can offer to connect. So it's a nice little time saver there. It means you don't have to bother checking into LinkedIn all the time to see who's looked at your profile if you want to use that to connect with people. The next thing add-on I have is Rapportive. Now, Rapportive works in conjunction with Gmail. I've cleared my Gmail out just for kind of privacy of people who've emailed me, and I've just got one email in there from my wife, Kathy. And you'll see if I click on that, over in the right-hand side, this is information from Rapportive. What it does is, based on the email address of the person who sent it, it goes and checks them up on social media and brings back their picture, their job title, information about what they tweet, some of our recent emails we've sent, etc. So that's quite nice. Whenever someone who you don't know emails you, to be able to get a kind of look at them and see their social media profiles, and you can click onto that. What it also does is it allows you to kind of guess at email addresses if you don't already know them. So if you wanted to email someone, you knew their name and you knew which company they worked for, but you didn't know their actual email address, you can take a couple of guesses at it, and Rapportive will tell you whether that email address exists. So just to use as a guinea pig, this guy I know called John Ashcroft is the CEO of Pro Manchester. So I can guess, if I didn't know his email address, I could maybe say, well, maybe it's just John at promanchester.co.uk. That's their domain, promanchester.co.uk. Just press tab there, and you see how it kind of comes back and there's nothing there, and if I hover over that, it's not showing me anything other than a blank thing. So that's probably not his email address. Maybe it's john.ashcroft at promanchester.co.uk, and you see there it actually comes back. It hasn't got a photograph for him, but it's pulled in his kind of job title and his Twitter address, so I can be pretty certain that this is indeed his correct email address, and I can send off an email to him. So that's a really good way of guessing at people's email address if you need to email them. Kind of it checks out to see whether that email address really does exist and who it's from by checking against social media profiles. Now, the final tool I want to show you is Signals from the HubSpot folks. Now, Signals is a way of checking whether people have actually received your emails or not. And it keeps a log of those. Now, it's not that kind of read receipt thing you sometimes see where they have to say, someone's attached a read receipt and it's annoying, etc. Signals works in the same way that email marketing works, in that it has an invisible little pixel image pixel in the email. It's not 100% accurate, but it's pretty accurate, especially these days since Gmail switches the images on by default. And so what would happen is if I sent Kathy an email, for example, Kathy@kathybrodie.com, I'll just put in here, just testing. You'll see there that there's a little section down here. This is the signal section. If I tick that box, the send button goes orange, and what that means, it's going to track the email if I send it. So it sent that email off. Now what will now happen is if Kathy opens that email on her computer, which I just happen to have, if you just watch my screen there, it just says over on there, Kathy Brodie opened just testing. And if I wanted, I won't go to the actual thing here. If I wanted, I could click on that and I would see all the recent emails that have been opened by anyone I've sent a tracked email to. Obviously, I don't want to disturb their privacy by showing you who's been emailing backwards and forwards to me. But it essentially is like that. It has that list of people and when they opened the email. And also whether they clicked on a link. So you're able to see from that who's opening an email frequently, who's rereading it, who's clicking on the links. So it really is quite handy if you have an important email to send to someone and you want to know that they've received it, and if you want to know when they've received it, so you know the best time to email them, then Get Signals. Signals is really worth getting. Now all these tools are free. With in the case of Signals, you get 200 tracks a month for free. It integrates with Salesforce and some of the other stuff that I don't particularly have. I just use it for email tracking. But it really is quite handy if you want to know that your email, someone's actually opened your email, rather than sending it off and worrying about whether they're on holiday, whether it ended up in their spam folder, etc. At least you get positive confirmation that someone's opened it. You can see when they click a link in it. And you can see if they keep opening it to show that they've got some interest in it. So all of those nice handy tools, all for free, all working with Google Chrome. I'll thoroughly recommend all of them. Cheers.